At first glance, Korean army stew looks like nothing more than a messy pot of random ingredients, but this bubbling masterpiece has been loved across Korea for over 50 years. No fancy cooking techniques, no expensive ingredients, just meat, noodles, vegetables, kimchi, and a fiery broth all fighting for attention in one pot. And somehow, it became so popular that Koreans reportedly eat it dozens of times a year. To see why this humble dish became such a national obsession, we're heading inside a legendary restaurant dedicated entirely to beauty jjigae, or Korean army stew. The preparation starts with something surprisingly simple: sausages. Workers open huge bags of fresh sausages and slice every piece diagonally into long, even pieces. That angled cut isn't just for looks. It exposes more surface area, allowing the spicy broth to soak deep into the sausage. And these workers are fast. In roughly an hour, an entire tray can be sliced and ready for the pot. But there's one ingredient that gives army stew its identity: luncheon meat. And its story goes much deeper than you might expect. After the Korean War, meat was extremely difficult to obtain. People began using leftover American military foods, things like luncheon meat, sausages, and ham, and combining them with whatever Korean ingredients they had at home. Kimchi, instant noodles, spicy sauce. What started as a meal made from whatever was available eventually became one of Korea's most recognizable comfort foods. And this restaurant doesn't rely on just one type of luncheon meat. They combine different varieties because each one has its own texture and fat content. Once they simmer together, the different meats create a much richer and deeper flavor. Meanwhile, the kitchen keeps preparing the supporting ingredients: fresh radishes mixed with red chili powder, coarse salt, and minced garlic, creating a simple but powerful spicy side dish. Then fresh green onions are added for fragrance and color. But the real secret is still waiting. It's time to make the restaurant's signature army stew sauce. This sauce is basically the engine of the entire pot. It determines how salty, spicy, savory, and slightly sweet the broth will become. Get it wrong, and all those expensive ingredients are just swimming in a bland soup. But when the proportions are right, the sauce delivers a deep chili flavor that's spicy without completely overpowering your mouth. And then comes another Korean essential: kimchi. It's chopped into bite-sized pieces and kept ready for the moment everything hits the pot. But this restaurant has one more trick to keep customers coming back. The instant noodles are unlimited. Yes, finish your noodles, and you can keep adding more. Once the ingredients are ready, the dinner rush begins. Instead of carefully weighing every ingredient, the workers simply grab what they need from the shelves. Years of experience have trained their hands to know exactly how much belongs in each pot. Sausages, ham, luncheon meat, everything goes in generously. Then comes minced meat. It might look like a small addition, but it gives the broth another layer of richness while helping soften the impact of the chili. Finally, the star of the show gets poured in: rich pork bone broth. Now the transformation begins. For around 26,000 Korean won, 3 people can share one giant pot packed with meat, vegetables, kimchi, and noodles. The broth slowly works its way through everything, coating every ingredient in that spicy, savory flavor. Add a spoonful of soft steamed rice, and the combination becomes even more satisfying. And because the noodles are unlimited, you can keep dropping them into that bubbling broth again and again. The noodles absorb the spicy soup while staying wonderfully chewy. Take that first bite while it's still steaming, and the heat hits immediately. Savory meat, tangy kimchi, rich broth, and fiery chili all collide in one mouthful. It's messy, spicy, comforting, and dangerously easy to keep eating. And that's exactly why, after more than half a century, Korean army stew is still impossible to replace.